question left here. Number 10, number 11, and number 12. Let's go with them quickly. All right. So number 10, number 10 is self-dividing numbers. So in this one, it takes a left boundary and a right bounds. So we have we're going to checking how many self-dividing numbers between the left and the right bounds. So on Friday, I already gave you some hint. Like you need to firstly have a way to checking if this number is self-dividing or not, and then you're gonna do a loop to checking all the numbers from left to right, right? So the easiest way to do this is to making a helper function to checking the self-dividing or not, and then doing a for loop to recursively checking all the numbers between the left and the right. Right. So let's having a helper function under it. Let's call it function self-dividing. It takes a number, right? I'm recording a video. Yeah. So this function, the job of the function is to check if the number is self-dividing, and by self-dividing we mean the number can be divided by all the digits inside it. Can be divisible by all the digits inside that number. It's self-dividing. So let's making this one right. So variable. Let me think about how to do that. Right, let's firstly split the number into array, and then using the number to divide by all the digits inside that array. So let's create them. Let's have some comments. Split number into array of digits. I'm gonna have a variable my array is equals to num dot to string. Transfer that into string, and we'll do a split here. Split depends on the empty string, so we are firstly using toString. Transfer that into transfer a number into a string type, and then split depends on the characters we have there. So basically, we'll split it into an array of digits. And then we're going to do a for loop, do a loop here. It can be a for loop or like any loop you like. Let's do a for loop. Use num to modular the digit is 0 to check if the number is self-dividing. So we're going to have for loop here for let's have variable I equals to 0, I smaller than my array balance I plus plus, right? So in the loop, we're gonna check if the num modular my array's ith item is equal to 0. Triple E 0 is equal. And because I transferred it to a string before, so when we do the modular, we need to firstly transfer it back to an integer, back to a number. So we're gonna do a parse int here. Gonna do a parse int on the item we have here. If that is so if that is modular the parse int is equal to 0, that means that is divisible. If that modular the integer the digit is not equal to 0, that means that's not self-dividing. So it has to be divisible by all the numbers. So what we can do here is to set, instead of saying if the number can be divisible by this index, this digit, we can actually checking if that's not equal to 0, right? Because like if that is equal to 0, we don't have to do anything. But if that any one of these cannot be, the number cannot be divided by any digit inside it, it is not a self-dividing. Otherwise, it is a self-dividing. So if in any case the number modulo the n digits inside it is not equal to 0, we can just return a false here. Remember, like return gonna stop the function. So in any case, if this is not equal to true, it's gonna return false. Alright? And if we finish all the for loop and it's never getting into this return false, that means that it should be a true case. That means that is a self-dividing. So after the for loop, we can have a return true here. So if in any case this one equals true, this one the number modulo the current digit is not equal to 0, it's gonna return false and stop the function. Otherwise, the for loop will not get into this return false case and finish the loop, and then we're gonna return true. Let the browser know this is a true case. This number is a self-dividing number. All right, let's remove those. And now we have a function. It can tell us if this number is a self-dividing or not. We can actually test it a little bit, see if that makes sense to us, and the computer knows what is happening. So let's do a console log self-dividing. Dividing. We're going to take the number here, will be 127. See if this number is self-dividing or not. Actually, let's make an easy number. 12. That is a self-dividing. I know that. I'll make sure it gives a true for me. Let's open the index.html I have here. Right. Open the developer tools. Oops. Console. It gives me a true. Right? It's giving me a true. This true is from the previous question. I haven't commented out. Console log, let's comment it out. Alright, so this gives me a true. 12 is a self-dividing number. And we can also try number 13. 13 is not self-dividing because 13 cannot be divided by 3. So we can try that as a false. Let's try more. 128. That is a self-dividing number. That gives me a true. Right? So actually it works. Right? So we can use that as a help function. I can use that function. I will call that function in my main function. Right? In my self-dividing numbers, I'm using the self-dividing function to help me to finish my task here. So let's do a for loop here. For let's have a variable I equal to 0. Actually, not this loop is not gonna start from 0. So we want to loop from the left number to the right. So the initial point is when I equal to left number, right? We'll start from the left number, and we're gonna stop when I is getting equals to the right number. So we're gonna continue running this when I is smaller or equals to the right number, and every time we'll plus 1 to the I. All right. So we're gonna loop from the left to the right. It's gonna two numbers. Inside it, what I want to do here is checking if the number is self-dividing. Right? If that is self-dividing, we're going to add that into array as a requirement of the question. Return an array of every possible self-dividing numbers between them, including the bounds. So we're going to check if the number is self-dividing. If that is, we're going to add that into array, and then we're going to finally return the array out. So we're going to have a empty array here to hold our answers. We're going to have a variable result is equal to the empty array. We're going to keep pushing the numbers into it. Alright, so if remember we can using this function we just created to help us to check if the number is self-dividing or not. So I'm going to use this function just created. Is self-dividing the current I? If that is a true, then we know that is a self-dividing. and we can add it to the result. Else we don't have to do anything. So result dot push push not I, sorry. It should be here. It should be I, yeah. Push I. So I starts from left and keep adding to the right. So let's check it firstly if the I is self-dividing. If that is self-dividing, we're gonna add that to the result array. Otherwise, don't have to do anything. And after we're checking all the numbers from left to right, after the for loop, we're going to have a return here, return that result array out. And that array is the answer we want. Again, we can do a console.log check the results. Console.log. Function name is called self-dividing numbers. We're gonna have a number from left to right. Here I can give 1 and 12. It should returns me all the self-dividing numbers from 1 to 12. It should be including 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and also the number 12. Let's try that. Right. So here are the all the self-dividing numbers we have. From 1 to 12, like it's not including the 10. We can try the bigger number from 1 to 20, right? So here are all the self-dividing numbers from 1 to 20. Have the 11, 12, 15, and it doesn't including the other numbers. Other numbers are not self-dividing. Like for example, like a 13, like 14, or 16, they are not self-dividing because the number 16 cannot be divided by 6. Right, so that's it for this question. You're gonna the easiest way is to have a function to help you to checking if the current number is self-dividing or not, and then you can use that function into your main function to do a loop to recursively check from left to right. Right, so that is number 10. Number 11, move zeros. So this function we're gonna take an array as an input. And it may include a lot of zeros in the middle of the array. And our job is to move that to the right side, to the end of the array. So the examples can be found in our requirement. Like if it's 0, 1, 0, 3, 12, we're gonna move that into 1, 3, 12, 0, 0. Right? We're gonna move 0 to the end of the function. So as I said on Friday, we're going to make a new array and make a counter and loop through a given number of arrays and compare numbers with 0. Right? So let's first make a new array. Variable result is also going to be my result array. Store my answer. It's going to be an empty array. And let's make a counter. Variable counter is equal to 0. The counter is used to count how many zeros I have in the array. Alright? Right, that's not be that's okay. So let's look through the given a number array we have here. So for variable I is equal to 0, I smaller than nums length. And then I++. We're checking all the numbers inside the nums array. Let me firstly comment this out. All right. So inside this array, what we are going to check is the self number is 0 or not. If that is 0, we're gonna remove that temporarily. I'm gonna adding one to the counter, and otherwise I can directly push that to the result. So if the nums ith item is equals to 0. If that equals to 0, we're just adding one to the counter plus plus. Else, if that's not equal to 0, we don't have to add one to the counter, just push that to a result. So it's going to be result.push. Push nums item inside it. Alright? So if the current number is 0, we just adding 1 to the counter. Otherwise, we just directly put that into our result array. Now I have an array of all the numbers in the nums without zero. There's no zero inside because when this is zero, we're not pushing that to the array, plus adding 1 to the counter. So right now, I can just adding all the zeros back to the end. How many zeros do we have? It's just the counter showing. If the counter equals 3, that means we need to add 3 zeros to the end of the number. If the counter is equal to 2, we're adding 2 to the end of the counter. Alright? So let's adding zeros. So we can have another loop here to ending that. Let's make a while loop. So variable for while counter is bigger than 0, I'm gonna keep adding things. So it's gonna be result the push 0, and then counter minus minus. So just keep adding zeros when the counter is bigger than 0. And then when counter equals to 0, then we're gonna stop this while loop here. And we can just return after the loop. We can return the result out. Result is where we store our answer. This should be the easiest way to come up with. We just basically check all the numbers inside the array and then remove the ones, we remove the zeros, and then we finally adding them out based on the counter, how many zeros we have it. Let's try to test it. Let's console the log result, not result, sorry, it's move zeros. We're gonna have a array as a input, so have a brace here. Let's say copy that's one here. Oops, I cannot copy it. Let's try it. But this should show me like a 1 2. The answer should be 1 2 2, 3 1 2, 3 3, and 0 0 0 0. 4 zeros after it. Let's try it. Where's my index.html? Reload it. Yeah, so here's my answer. It's 1 2 2, 3 1 2, 3 3, and 4 zeros. Right? So again, it is working in the way like firstly we create an empty array and a zero counter. Counter start from 0, and then we're gonna loop through from the first number to the last one in the nums array. If the number is 0, we're adding 1 to the counter. If the number is not 0, we push the number into the result array. And after we finish all the numbers inside the array, we're gonna add in the remaining zeros. If then we're gonna checking if the counter is bigger than 0, and we're adding 1. We're adding a 0. We're adding 1 0 to the array, and then counter minus minus, and keep adding zeros. After we finish, the result array is the answer we have for it. All right. So first we ask adding all the numbers and then adding all the zeros. Last question. This should be the very easy one to take the average of the numbers. All right. So we have an array, and our job is to looking for the average numbers we have it. So this is very easy. Firstly, we find the sum of numbers in the array, and then just do a division, right? Do divide by like using the sum divided by the length of it. So it's going to be firstly getting the sum. So let's create a variable sum is equal to 0. We're going to add in the numbers inside the array to it. So let's do a for loop for variable I. Excuse me. Variable I start from 0, and I smaller than AR the length. I plus plus. Yeah, so this one going to loop through the array, and I'm gonna if you give any numbers to it. So this is already something we already did in the previous question. Remember we did something called simple even ending. This one is even easier than that. We don't care if that even or not or odd. We just keep adding numbers to it, and the sum is equals plus the array's ith item. Right. This is saying like we keep adding sum is equal to sum plus array I. Array I is a current item inside it. It's going to change from the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one. Keep changing. The number is going to be all the numbers inside the array, and keep adding that to the sum. Right. So the sum is going to be the final sums, the sum of all the numbers in the array. And then we can do a division here. It's going to be just a return sum divided by array the length. So using the sum divided by how many numbers we have in the array. How many numbers we have in the array. Let's try that. Console.log. So if the numbers, I think, I forget to mention the function name. Name is average, and it takes array 2 and 4, and the average of 2, 4 should be 3, right? 2 plus 4 is 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So the answer of that it should be 3. Let's check that. Oops. AR.length is not a function. Oh, it should be just AR.length. There's no function call on that. It's a mess. The answer is 2 here. What? What? Why the answer is 2 here? Let me check it. Return the sum. Sum is 4. 2 and 4. The answer is.
It's sum equals plus array of I. Isn't it supposed to be
right
plus
here.
I plus equals?
Plus equals.
Oh yeah, my bad. So yeah, so it should be still sum divided by array.length. Right. So this time it is correct right now. It's adding another one, adding a 6 to it, and the average of that should be 12 divided by 3, which is 4. Yep, it is working correctly right now. So adding a 12 to it, the answer should be 6, right? And now 6, the answer should be 5. Oops, yeah. Yeah, 6, yes. Divided by 30 divided by 5, sorry, 6, yeah. So yeah, that's how this question should be. All right, that's answer for the average.
You need to put in a case where the length is 0.
Yep, that is really important. So if you do a console log average, if you have an empty array here, it's gonna maybe give you an here. This is not like a good result here because it doesn't make sense to the user, like they make any mistake or something like that. So we can actually have another if cases before in average to catch the error. So if the AR.length is equals to 0, we can easily return some string here saying the array, the input array is empty. So then when we're giving a empty array here, they know like oops, equals 0 should be the triple equal. Yeah. So it's gonna return it out. The input array is empty. You can do things like that. All right. So we're gonna use things like that in the future, maybe in a better way. But this is just basically the idea. Like you're gonna think about there may be some special cases like when the length of the array is empty, and what you're gonna tell the user, because this is you cannot find the average for empty array, right? All right, so that's it for the assignment 6. Oh, sorry, for assignment 2 about the JavaScript practice. And after you finish the assignment, don't forget to push your answers into the GitHub. All right, you're gonna open the terminal, do a git add dot, git commit, like a JavaScript practice, finish it, git push, and yeah, so make sure you can find your stuff, find your answers in your GitHub, right? Like in the JavaScript practice project. Make sure you have everything in your main.js, right? All the functions should be inside here. You don't have to send the HTML file, but at least you need to have a main.js, and all the questions, all the answers for the questions should be inside here. And the assignment is due by tonight, like the midnight of today. Yeah.